I'm going to take a minute to go over some functionality added to Vicinity 4.46, which is our March 2024 release. Specifically, this one is around quality. So if you record QC test results against a component lot, like a finished good or a raw material, this one's down your alley. A number of releases ago, probably a couple of years ago, we added the ability to have multiple specifications for a component, or for that matter, a formula. And that's found in component entry. There we have a specification. Now, if you're using quality, most likely you're just using a default specification, kind of the standard spec, so to speak. But we added the ability a number of releases ago to have multiple specifications. This can become helpful if you're selling the same finished good to two different customers, and the customers have different tests and or tolerances or thresholds in which they can accept a specific lot. That is one use case. There are others as well. Maybe you're retesting a finished good with a retain or something like that, and you're going to run different tests or different specs. Anytime you want to run tests or see information different ways, in other words, I want to run a test one way one time and run tests another way another time, this would be a good use of it. So a few releases ago, we added the ability to have multiple specifications. In this scenario, I've got a default. Everybody's got a default. That was pre that release. Everything got copied into a specification called default. And then since then, we added the ability to add a specification. Now, this has been here for a while, where you can have a different specification with different tests and different test values. So for my spec A, I've got those values, and for my default, I just don't even have any actual specs. I've got tests. So just know that I've got multiples out here. Now, what we added in this release is the ability to enter QC tests against those specifications. So I'm going to bring up a component lot as a test type, as a sample type, and I'll go ahead and just pick up this lot that I created. Now, in the main section, many of you don't spend a lot of time in here. This is where we get dates and who made changes, and we also have the workflow of what the sample, where the sample is, whether it's been submitted or on hold or completed or whatever. In this section is where you can pick the specification. Now, it's important that the status is sample is not submitted for this specific sample number for you to be able to change the specification. If you change it from not submitted, say, to in progress, then you're not going to be able to change the specification. So all you have to do to make this work is the default comes up automatically because I set the my specifications against the item is this, so my default is the standard one that comes up. But I can always override it by changing to, in this case, spec A version 1, and now you see my values are populated. If I flip back and forth, you'll see how those change around. The whole idea behind this is to give a central location for alternate testing processes, whether it be the same tests or different acceptable ranges, highs, lows, targets, etc. That's what this purpose is for. Everything else is identically is the same, where you simply enter your results here against these ranges. So largely what the spec is doing is it's controlling what tests that you see listed here, as well as what tolerable ranges that you've got. And these are the ranges that can go on a certificate of analysis, as an example. So this actually came to us from a client that was working through some of their quality requirements. Specifically, they sell the same product in two different applications, and the person buying it is giving the specification that may be different for the next time they buy it, because it depends on how it's going to be used. So long story short, they needed two specifications, and that's how this came about. Currently, we're supporting this under the component lot. We'll see what kind of traction and what kind of changes people might want to make. And then, if necessary, we can also bring it against the batch, which would really be against the formula. That would be the kind of the next version or the next phase of this. So give it a try. Let us know. Give us some feedback. It really helps us out a great deal to prioritize what's going to help you. Anyway, that's it. Hope you have a great day, and look forward to getting your feedback.